There feels an energy of ancestral healing and giving observation and awareness to that today. So I'd like to call this out from my book, which the page opened out onto as guided by spirit. And I'm here today because it's quite bright out there, you can probably see. So I would just kind of be blinded in the sun. So welcome to this setup with my little guy sat here next to me. Anyway, I honor the ancestors before me by releasing their traumas and wounds with compassion, grace, love, and forgiveness. I embody their wisdom and gifts with gratitude. I honor the opportunity to be the new ancestor, moving my mission and vision out into the world. I'm grateful, blessed, loved, healed, and whole. And what you may find is as illusion comes to the surface, or as you see through things, and you are reclaiming and returning to your state of integrated wholeness and abundance, being the truth of who you are, there can be an anger that surfaces, or a rage, a sacred rage, in how you are seeing through that and knowing that that is a lie, it's smoke and mirrors, that you are somehow being gaslit, and how others' projections onto you are energies, and likely the reflection, the mirror reflection of their perception of the world, of right and wrong and morals and so on. And we're all imperfect sinners. And I had seen a post before recording on being selective sinners and how we all have our own free will and our own conscious choices, and how we may take actions in one direction, and that may unwillingly, in whether it intended to or not, or unintentionally, caused harm in another way through inaction on another route, or however we may see or observe that. And when we come into our shadow integration and give love to our own darkness, and give love to our own mistakes, or give love to our own shortcomings, or give love to, say, for instance, if you're on the path of spiritual awakening and you feel that you've needed to prioritize your mental health and well-being, and it meant that you couldn't show up in a certain capacity in certain relationships or function in the same way in the world, you may later come to see how that was both a blessing and a curse, in a way that it may have slowed you down, yet may have aligned you more with what is in your heart and soul. And there may have been connections and opportunities and things that fell away because they were no longer in resonance with you. Yet you might perceive yourself to have caused harm or hurt others somehow. And the truth is that we all do this to one another, and we can come back into the intention of holding the energy of peace, love, and harmony, of wanting to share the energy of prayer, of wanting blessings and harmony and peace and abundance and truth and beauty and love for others. And in holding that energy, we come back into the energy of gratitude. You may find this kind of mental energy, this conflict in, do I do this, do I do that, is just the right thing to do, when you're on the path of evolving and getting up each day and refining your self concept and saying to yourself, well, who am I now, and how is this working, and how is this functioning, as if you're constantly recalibrating in your field, and frequency is elevating, and you may be purging density and so on. It's important that you do not let your emotions overrun you or dictate the day, so that you are reclaiming power and reclaiming spiritual composure and that mental and emotional harmonizing and balance, which I must say Reiki is fantastic for cultivating and doing, specifically if you get attunements to Reiki level 2 and learn symbols and practices, energy practices that you can do to bring about that equilibrium within your being, so that you're becoming more the observer of your thoughts and emotions and not letting them overrun you, that you can be the one who is throwing out the water, so to speak, in the Queen of Swords, and not allowing your emotions to dominate you, that you are remaining sovereign and empowered in an intellectual way. And a great way to get the heart brain coherence is through returning to gratitude, being grateful for the privilege of the opportunity to know yourself more fully in the truth of who you are, and to move from that version of you. And even if you pause and zoom out and you see the bigger picture, due diligence was coming out, that you know you're having the opportunity to pause, to reflect, to refine, to perhaps make a new plan to make a plan moving forward that feels more in alignment with a more evolved version of you, you in communion with your higher self, and that not being separate from you, but integrated part of you, bringing that into the fullness of your being, that you can see how less can be more, and you can take more potent, powerful actions in alignment through that inner power and stability and intellectualism as well, focused on the energy of gratitude for how everything is unfolding for your benefit, and knowing that the mirror is simply teaching you and showing you how you are making progress and where you can still learn. A mirror card had come out to ask you, what are you potentially feeling triggered by? Or what is it revealing to you for insights and for wisdom and for learning? And I'm guided to read a description from this from Rebecca Campbell's Recalibrate Oracle. The filter of our own experience is how we experience life 90% of the time, through our own projections. When someone reminds us of an unhealed experience, we get triggered. Often it's an unconscious thing. People and situations can trigger our mirrors to reflect back to us what we believe to be true about ourselves, about life, the universe. Mirrors pointing to our shadow and to our light. Mirrors revealing the parts of us that are yet to be accepted, witnessed, or loved. This card is guiding you to look closely at what experiences or people are currently triggering in you and what they could be mirroring back to you. When have you felt like this before? Could they be opportunities to heal something in you? Are they shining a light on something that longs to be witnessed in you? And what I'm really feeling is this ancestral? Is it generational? Is it something that you're carrying that's not even yours? That now you can set the intention to invoke Archangel Michael and to cut any ties, any cords, any attachments that are no longer serving you in your growth and soul's evolution. So you come back into integrated wholeness and to release all of these lower density experiences or limitations and illusions with the energy of love and gratitude and appreciation for your privilege of knowing and understanding that the new is available to you, which is in greater lightness of being and harmony and joy and abundance of the truth of who you are and your divinity. So are they shining a light on something that longs to be witnessed in you? This goes for both the good and the bad. The good, those that we admire and put on a pedestal. If we do not realize that we're attracted to them because we are like them, we will need to cut them down in order to rise to their level. The bad, those we despise or envious of and put down, we do not realize that they trigger something in us. Then that is still yet to be healed. We will remain hurt and wounded ourselves. And this is taking me back to that energy of that selective sinning and how we can view all aspects to be some parts of ourselves. And anyone who is acting out of alignment or not connected to the truth of who they are is simply unconscious or at a lower level of consciousness and not necessarily lower to you, yet everyone is operating from their own paradigm, their own self-concept, their own lens of the world, their own frequency, their own understanding, and whether or not they're truly connected to source and the fullness of who they are in their being, and connected to the energy of love in which they will be unconditionally loving and can extend and hold the energy of grace and compassion. Anyone who's not experiencing that is simply experiencing a disconnection from source and a disconnection from the truth of who they really are. And therefore, understanding and love can be given to the totality of it all. So the questions here are who or what is triggering you? What is it in you that they are triggering that is an invitation to something? And what part of you longs to be witnessed in visibility, to be seen, to be heard, to be integrated, that you were asked to give love to, and how you can stop being hard on yourself or criticizing yourself or demanding too much of yourself or expecting too much of yourself or viewing yourself as not enough, not worthy, whatever it may be, that you literally, I'm going to guide it back to this card, like throw that out of the bathtub or whatever it is, or even connect with water and cleanse your field. Crucifixion had come out from the Magdalene Oracle, and this is the way essentially we can crucify ourselves with our own thinking, our own thoughts that are not benefiting us, our plans, the truth of who we are, what we're planting seeds on, and what we're growing to cultivate more of the Garden of Eden and create the heaven on earth. So, from the description here, it says, you may be causing yourself unnecessary suffering by thinking that you need to improve in some way before you can find peace and fulfillment, which is accessible to you right here, right now. And I'm going to come back to that. For much of your life, you may have tried to hide the parts of you that you don't believe or perceive to be lovable. Yet the things that you repress or hide resurface through external situations until you learn to accept and love them. A world of infinite possibilities awaits you if you can just learn to be yourself and love yourself exactly as you are right here, right now. There was a shining star inside of you. Allow the light of your star to shine forth, and you will find that people love you just as you are. Over the coming weeks, pay close attention to your thoughts. This is air energy that we're in now, so that is mental. When you find yourself thinking negatively or fearfully, consciously transform thought into a loving one and continue doing this until the cycle is broken. And this is so important because in the time of air and fire energies that were in there. Last year, we were predominantly in earth and water energies, and there's been a shift with the outer planets moving into other signs and coming back into air and fiery energies, which can feel like things picking up momentum and moving at a faster pace with more fiery action forward, with faster speed, with more innovation, with more sacral rage coming up to the surface. There's been more storms and volcanic activity, and this is all a reflection of Mother Earth herself experiencing these energies as she too expands in consciousness and raises her vibration, and the vibration of the planet is rising itself. And those aligning with that, who are experiencing this, who are very tapped in, connected to that, are the ones who feel ignited and initiated into what they call New Earth leadership, in being a way shower or a guide, a light leader, a beacon of light for others who may feel lost or in despair or confused at this time at the crumbling of systems and the old ways which are no longer working, as we create space to move into the understanding of frequency and being the importance of being in inner calm, stillness within, in knowing the truth of who we are and connecting to that and feeling the fullness of source within our being, and that our soul is actually beyond our body. It's our body that is within the soul, and the auric field extends far beyond us. And the more that we are clear within our energy field and calibrating to the truth of who we are and being in fullness and wholeness, the more we can experience the mirror reflection of that inner reality and be a way shower and a guide, a beacon of light for others so that they may create more of their version of heaven on earth and shine more brightly in authenticity, not falling into fear, guilt, shame, blame, resentment, worry, doubt, and so on. Yet coming back into the energy of love and gratitude, knowing that all is unfolding divinely, perfectly right here, right now. When you find yourself feeling that you're thinking negatively or fearfully, I'm saying again, consciously transform that thought into a loving one and continue doing that until the psychic cycle is broken. Because as I had mentioned, the air and fire energies also mean that our ability to manifest through our thinking and through our field is ramping up in momentum. It's happening faster. That literally that you may find even synchronicities ramping up, that you think of someone and instantly find that they're reaching out to you. That telepathy is real, that we are, this is why energy work is so important, and cleansing your field and being aware of your own thought forms and emotions and what signal you're broadcasting, what you're expecting and assuming, how you're using the creative power of your imagination, because you literally are the creator of your reality and creating everything. This is where, excuse me, accountability comes in for things that are coming into your reality that you may not prefer, because from some point of truth, you have created it. And that can be through a subconscious doubt or fear, for example, manifesting in your reality, and then you're seeing resistance because the energy of certainty has completely landed within your being and in your energy field. That all is perfectly well and fine and unfolding for your benefit. So therefore, you can give up feeling any energies of judgment, criticism, um, rejection, denial, any harshness towards another who may be projecting these energies onto you, and understanding that once you choose to see beyond illusion and you integrate into the fullness of the abundance that you are and connect with the energy of love and compassion and grace within you, that these scenarios start to fade away. You observe more harmonious dynamics in your relationships. You see more the truth of who you are in authenticity and in connection with your divinity. And so the more you are believing in that and giving attention to that and focusing on the loving creation of that, the more you see the manifestation of that in your reality. And that's why it's so important to remember that all is co-creation, and you are creating from the temple of your heart, the God force, the God goddess within you. And the more you connect to gratitude and love, even for the challenges, even for the difficulties, to say, thank you for this opportunity to stretch me into my greatness. Thank you for this opportunity to continue to show up dedicated and devoted to my mission, my voice, and visibility. Thank you for the opportunity to show me the truth of who I am, because now I can integrate it even more fully into my being, and so on. And you can continue to do that inner work, which richly rewards you and your reality and all that come into contact with you, because they feel a sense of safety and presence and truth and beauty and love and grace in your energy. And you can create powerful healing and transformation for others. This does take time and dedication and perseverance. This is the true work, but the eventual rewards are great. On the opposite page of this book, I would also guide you to read about how you are creating your evolving reality in following your heart-centered leadership and devoting yourself to the remembrance of this every day, that you create an intention of having a note next to your bed, of having something in your journal where you remember, I'm the co-creator in my reality. I'm creating my reality. All is being manifested through my mind, body, soul connection and my aligned actions and my commitment and devotion to show up in creating and bringing about the reality of my desires. How am I devoting and committing myself to that? How am I persisting in my actions? How am I surrendering and flowing and allowing the divine to also guide me and inspire me, so that I'm not too rigid or too attached, yet allow myself to take action as relentlessly as I can, as far as I can, and surrender the rest over to God. And you keep connecting with that day to day, you are in a accelerated reality creation. I work specifically intuitively with my clients, some who've been with me for years now, and I firmly believe it's because I've always had the energy of a sense of detachment, of I do not desire anyone to have a codependent dynamic with me. And because I see everyone as connected to source, as having their own spirit guides and angels, and how they're fully empowered to make their own informed choices. And that energy of detachment, of you're going to make the best decision for you, I trust you to make empowered decisions for you, has actually supported others making the choice of that there's a greater trust there, or a credibility in the energy, that they simply desire to step in and to receive next level activations and expansion through working with me based on the medicine and wisdom and alchemy that I have unlocked in my own personal transformation journey, which is frequency work, which is people stepping in to be on the frequency and to receive activations such as you do through listening to my voice in this video. There is part of my healing journey that is transmitted to you, that you are receiving in your energy field, and taking what resonates, that's calibrating within you, and discarding the rest, which is activating and igniting you into the greater truth of who you are in your soul blueprint. And that's why we're here, and that's the importance and the power of voice and visibility. And you too have this power to ignite others once you connect more intimately with your heart-centered leadership. And that's why meditation and your spiritual practices and devotion to them are so profoundly important. And in the times that we're moving into, will be ever more so important. I'm hearing. So the actions that you take inspire you. They pour into a greater vision for your life and your impact, rather than allowing your feelings to dictate. That's taking me back to the Queen of Swords energy. Rather than allowing your feelings to dictate your actions, let your actions come from an energy of wholeness, creating an expansive, elevated energy You create the state within you first, rather than waiting or looking for signs. This is your true creative power. What is required to truly anchor that in, to nurture and sustain it, even going to whole new levels, is becoming a non-negotiable version of yourself with energetic standards. And this is why your mind, body, soul practices matter in your workout routines, your meditation, how you care for you, how you care for your energy practices, which I go through in depth in demonstrating and giving guidance in my manuals that I wrote and channeled also with people who step into my courses and programs for energetic attunements and energy work activations. If you'd like to see my reviews, go to the description box below and step in with me, because this time of spiritual sovereignty just becomes more and more important, that you're clear in your own field and you're clear in your own dharmic mission so that you can show up for it and allow it to bring you joy in mind, body, and soul, that you're lit up in aliveness and enthusiasm. And you're truly just allowing yourself to be yourself and giving full love and appreciation of, I get to be me, and everything unfolds from there beautifully in my own creation of heaven and earth. And I want that for more people and people that I work with, that you become friends with and you come to love, and it just becomes like treasure, unlocking more treasure. So, question for you: who is the evolved, expansive, successful version of you? How are they cultivating their inner landscape and showing up for both themselves and for others? This applies to your inner circle, whether in your family, in your personal life, and calling, or your professional life. How do you imagine that that version of you feels in their body? What sensations are they experiencing? How can you be in that energy right here, right now, today, despite your external circumstances? That you're literally in your delulu till it's true lulu. That you're walking down the street holding the energy of your vibrant success and abundance and vitality and joy, and how much you are loved, how much love you have in you, how much gratitude you have for your loudness. And to start to allow life to respond to that signal, rather than allowing any current circumstances, external forces, or energies to dominate or dictate to you how they perceive you should be feeling or experiencing reality. That you dominate your day with gratitude, peace, love, harmony, joy, expansion, aligned action, in commitment and devotion to creating more of the heaven and earth that you require and desire and want to share with others for incredibly powerful, transformative, vibrant impact. What lightness, aliveness, enthusiasm, boldness, and success does that version of you carry in their body, in their energy, in wholeness, in your expansive heaven already realized? Bring your ideal state to your now reality. Feel it, breathe it, and contain it within your energy field, and repeat, repeat, repeat. Come back to this video anytime you want to even this part of the timestamps in below, to remind yourself in the morning, who is the evolved version of me today? How can I align and quantum leap and merge timelines with the most admirable, desirable, peaceful, loving, vibrant, joyful, happy, successful, wealthy, blissful, loved, loving version of myself right here, right now? How does that person feel? How do they move? What actions are they taking? Are they showing up in their body? How are they dedicated to their self-care? Are they looking after and maintaining their health regimens and looking after their body and eating soul nourishing food and fasting and hydrating and meditating and taking time to surrender to mindfulness and meditation and breathing with gratitude, love, and joy, and breathing in expansive inner states into their reality to recalibrate their field to a state of wholeness? For a focus on alignment, consistently consult with your higher self. How would they be? What would they do? How certain are you? How much do you trust in yourself and in God? How receptive are you to insights and messages? The divine feminine is nourished in meditation, relaxation, and inspired creation. The more you connect with her within you, whether you are male or female, since we all have both masculine and feminine energies, and you establish this communion within you. And today is Friday, it's the day of the divine feminine. The more momentum you build in taking empowered actions forward, you may feel and perceive pushback in your reality from energies that are heavily attuned to systems of structures and routines and rigidity and expectations of certain outcomes. Yet your inner being, your intuition, may be speaking to you otherwise and saying, I know it gets to be simpler. I know it gets to be easier. I know slowing down and pausing allows me to feel more abundant and allows that to become more of my reality. I know that actually doing less allows me to align with better actions to take that bring greater fruits and rewards. And you can protect or shield your energy from any of these influences by reclaiming your ownership of abundance, sovereignty, peace, beauty, and joy within you, while also moving and taking action in the direction of what will create more of that for others, how you may support others, how you may be in your bliss and share it somehow in adding value and contribution. And adding that value out into the world does come back to you tenfold. If you are in a situation where you feel that not everything is as clear as it seems, trust your intuition. So it's all tying in. There may be energies in your current situation that aren't fully aligned with your intentions and goals or with kindness. Follow your intuition about whom to trust and what to trust. If you can take time to retreat or step out of the situation to assess what is going to be beneficial for you, that's reminding me of the bird's eye due diligence from the beginning of this video, then do so. In any event, this is a time to call on the energy of protection and to place yourself in a space that feels safe. That was the energy of the arrow, to surround yourself with protective energy and with those that nourish, uplift, and support you and support your wholeness and thriving. And that you're moving into a time where you may feel that you're breaking out of more paradigms and illusions. So therefore, certain environments or relationships will be moving away, or you may be guided to move location, to move home, to move into a space or be around people that you feel more expansive with, because you may feel this sense of containment because you're going to a new level. You're being asked to break free and to break through being more true to yourself, true to your authenticity, your vulnerability, the fullness of your humanity and your soul shine. And final message is heart guardian, to love and let yourself be loved, and to know that you are infinitely loved by the divine, that love is available within you in the portal of your heart. And when you are truly in the energy of knowing that all is accessible and available within you in connection to source, that all your needs are met, that you need nothing outside of you, that all is provided for you, that you become truly powerful, magnetic, more can make its way to you through your understanding and connection of this energy and frequency within you, coming back to grace, to gratitude, to love, to appreciation, and continuing to show up in your unique expression of love that you offer and deliver to the world. Thank you for being here, for liking, sharing, commenting, and subscribing. You say hey to my little buddy over here. To sleep. Say hi, Marlon. Okay, guys, have a beautiful day. Drop a comment if this has resonated for you. Remember your wholeness and abundance and truth and beauty within you, and all is unfolding perfectly in your favor. That's right.